Hi, welcome back. Today is day 12. You're a dozen days into this. And today, I don't have any story from outside. Rather, it's my own story. So, what's the topic about? We probably will figure out as to what the topic is a bit later, or should I give it out now? Well, let me not put you into suspense and let me give it out to you now. The topic for today is don't let the child in you die. Don't let the child in you die. To tell you some story about this, about myself related to the topic, I need to take you back a few decades. And I'm a person born into the 70s, the late 70s, and people who were born around about the same time, or probably even the early 80s, would know that we were born into an era of no internet. Color TV was still making its advent over there. There was definitely no cable TV, which came only when we were around 14, 15, something like that. Okay, and even modes of recreation just included the movies, park, trips, occasional trips, maybe one or two annual trips, and most of the time we had to rely on comic books. Yes, there is something called as the books to have entertainment also. You're avid readers. I mean, people who ever like to read. We were that generation who would devour a lot of comics and things like that. Alright. And when I mentioned food, we did not have the Pani Puri Walas as rampant as we have today. We had only one or two known bakeries. Even restaurants were very far and few between, and for us vegetarians, it was even more difficult to find a good vegetarian restaurant. There were not even the Shanti Sagars that are a huge thing today. Okay, so North Indian food was almost no. I actually don't remember having any kind of North Indian food being in Bangalore for a good 15 years of my life, the first 15 years of my life, or even had a samosa actually. Okay. So just coming back to food again, which was one part of the story, whenever we went to Majestic area where all the movie theaters were placed and which was one of the prime centers of our recreation, okay, when we were small kids, my father always used to take us to this one place called Janata Sugarcane Juice Center, something like that. It was called Janata basically. It was a sugarcane juice shop. It was a corner shop in one of the main lanes of Majestic area. I think many of you might know this. And my memory of that was that there used to be, the shop did not sell anything else apart from sugarcane juice. Okay. And the shop used to be stacked with lots of canes of, lots of sugarcane. Okay. And there would be two machines because the corner shop, there was one machine on this window, one machine on this window, and they would be dishing out glasses and glasses of sugarcane juice. We always, that was the first stop for us. We used to go by bus, alight at Majestic, walk to the Janata sugarcane shop, have a glass of sugarcane juice, and then go wherever we had to, whether it was shopping or the movies or something else. If we are going to Majestic, the Janata sugarcane juice was a must and should. Yeah, as I was mentioning, whenever I pass by the Janata sugarcane shop, even today, it's shut today, I relive back those memories. There are so many shops around Bangalore now, and sugarcane juice is practically available 365 days a year in every locality of Bangalore. But somehow, the juice is not as sweet as it used to be a few decades back. That's one part of my don't let the child in you die part of the story. Alright. I have those memories to cherish, and I'm sure that I'll have a lifetime of those memories. Even though it's very small, for some people it might be insignificant, but nevertheless those are my memories. Okay. Couple of other small snippets and stories like this that I want to share with you. The other thing is, as I told you, there were not many bakeries. And we always used to look forward to this one event in Bangalore. It's happening currently as of today, and that was the annual cake exhibition organized by the Nilgiris people, a famous bakery chain. Alright, it used to happen on Bishop Cotton's Boys or Girls High School on Residency Road in the 80s or 90s. There used to be a long queue in the play area of the school, and we used to pay some ticket fee and go in, and we used to be in awe of all those different monuments and shapes and colors of the cakes which were being made. There used to be sometimes the Bangalore Palace, the Mysore Palace, Rashtrapati Bhavan, the Parliament Building of India, Qutub Minar one time, different personalities molded in cake, so many different things. Okay, every time it used to be advertised a couple of weeks ago, and my father made it a ritual for all of my early and mid childhood, at least until probably I reached high school. Okay, I have gone there every year, and we used to pick up some knickknacks on the way back home. A customary visit to the Nilgiris bakery on Brigade Road would fetch us some very good veg puffs and some good cakes, some savories. The cake exhibition still happens, and I just went there yesterday. All right, but it's not the same. It's definitely not the same. The finesse that was there back then is not there today. Today, the cake exhibition is a very small part of the advertisement, and it's overtaken by a lot of other people, other vendors, other artists and artisans who are there to exhibit their own products and goods and things like that. Nothing against them, but the whole theme of the cake exhibition is lost in the midst of all this. But no matter what happens, I know it's not as good as before, but I still make it a point to go every year, even today, because whenever I go there, I feel that I am reliving all those childhood memories all over again, all over again. Okay, some part of my childhood is hooked to those days, and I feel so happy, so relaxed, so much better. And that's the reason I go there. Okay, I'm sure you people also will have things like this. These are some things that probably our kids will not learn to enjoy, or probably they'll have different things to enjoy. Very honestly, I tried to get my son interested in this cake exhibition, but he's not as enthused as me. Probably different things work for different people. So be it. Let him form his own memories. But for me, this cake exhibition is like a part of my childhood, part of my memories from childhood, and I hold it very close to my heart. Right? Now, the third thing and the last thing, I promise, okay, about my story is we were. As I told you, we were a generation born into the advent of color TV was happening. There was no cable inside, and all of our entertainment as kids, apart from playing incessantly on the ground and on the roads, all came from comic books. Comic books. It was Hindi comic books, few Kannada comic books, a lot of English comic books. And when I say English, it ranged from Tinkle to Asterix and Tintin to Archie's, Mandrake, Bahadur, Chacha Chowdhury, I don't know, I have forgotten, pardon me if I'm forgetting some names over here, but Phantom, yes, so many things, so many things. I used to have Amar Chitrakatha, how can I forget that, the pink one. I owe my childhood to all these things. I actually very fondly had a big collection, not a very big for me, okay. I had about a 40-50 kind of comic book collection. Some borrowed, some exchanged, some bought, so many things, and I had made a big fat bound out of all of that, which I lost somewhere in the process of renovating the house and things like that, which I miss very dearly. That is my childhood. When I come to Kannada, I can think of only one name, it was Chanda Mama. Okay, Chanda Mama, and I still have a sizable volume, about 30-40 old Chanda Mamas, which I have kept very sacredly. That's my wealth, that's my wealth. When I again have to jump back to English, it was not from my childhood, but when I grew up, I always used to still read a lot of Asterix and Tintin. It's still a lot of fun today. I must have read each one of them tens and hundreds of times. I know each plot, each twist, each name, each color that has gone into the animation of the whole thing. But still, the amount of thrill that I get by looking at it, by reading is something that I can't put into words. Something that I just can't put into words. Alright. So, when I could afford, because those days it was about 50-60 rupees for the big version of the Asterix, and the smaller one used to be some 30-40 rupees, but even that 50-60 rupees was premium amount of money, and my father had got me one or two. Asterix and the Normans was what he had got me. I lost it again. Okay, as many kids do, I've lost that as well. I used to go to city central library, local library over here. I used to take one of those Asterix. My friend, or a good friend of mine called Subramanya, who used to stay close by, he used to take one. We used to read it quickly in a couple of hours, exchange it. So each day we used to read two whenever possible. And we read each and every title, Asterix and Tintin alike. That's how my memories are made. Right? And when I could afford it, I was looking around as to where to buy Asterix and Tintin, and I was not able to find it. And a significant amount of time after I started working, my mind did not have the space to think about all of this, or I had forgotten it for my own pen. Okay, so after I got married in the year 2009, I was mentioning this to my wife, and this struck a chord with her as well, because she also is an avid reader like me, and her memory, significant part of her childhood memories, was also about Asterix and Tintin. So what she did was, on our first anniversary, she bought the whole stack of Asterix and Tintin. She bought it and she gifted it to me, and that is another huge treasure of mine. And today my son is also hooked onto it. Okay. I'm just trying to say through all of these three stories that I'm sure these are my experiences, are my stories, my snippets, parts of my life. I'm sure you too have something similar to your childhood memories, to your journey through childhood into teenage and things like that. So what are those? I would like to hear that. How does it help you? It helps you in keeping you grounded with reality, that you led a simple life, you learned to enjoy the simple pleasures of life, and that's what gave you the utmost ultimate happiness in life. And if you had to go back somewhere, you would want to go back to that time, to those times where all these things mattered more than anything else to you in life. And these are the things that I would associate with when I say don't let the child in you die. Because when I read an Asterix comic, when I have a glass of sugarcane juice, when I go to the cake exhibition like I did yesterday, I am at my enthusiastic best. I'm all chirping, I'm all jumping, I'm so happy to be here, I'm more relaxed, and I get some of the best work done at that time, professionally also. Okay, so whenever I need to do something very intense and things like that, I have come to identify these things and so many other things that I don't have the time to mention right here in the video. So whenever I have to do something very intense and focused for a long time, I go back to those happy times, happy memories, and that flicks a switch somewhere in my brain, and the child in me comes out with more ebullience and encouragement and enthusiasm, and my work gets done like this. I can concentrate more. I'm so much more willing to think. I can think like an innocent person with a free, open mind, and that has helped me professionally as well. That's for the professional part. On the personal part, when I don't let the child in me die a slow death, I'm trying to keep myself alive by saying that despite everything else that happens around me, and things happen around all of us all the time, things that we are not in control, and things keep happening for the worse, things keep happening for the better all the time, I know that my roots are grounded. I know where I can find happiness, I know where I need to turn to find that, I know where I need to seek to get there, and that's what matters. Don't let the child in you die. In some professional circles, that child is called as the little professor, who's very inquisitive, who's very enthusiastic, and he gets anything done within his own power. Don't let the little professor die. That kind of inquisitiveness, enthusiasm, you will not find anything else, even if you make a conscious attempt and it's there within your reach. If you just happen to revise your memory, rewind your years or your days a much time back, and you will have many moments like this, like how I shared with you, to cherish. Go ahead, relive them. Those are yours. Something that people cannot take away no matter what else happens in your life. Some things which are innately personal to you. Okay, and something that you will always have a big broad smile on your face when you even think about it. When you even think about it. So I will leave you with those warm memories. Have fun. I'll see you another day with another new story on another new topic. Bye bye.